Hey, Nick Peterson here again, and we're going to talk about the simple mechanics of making more and working less. And I'm aware that not everybody wants to work less and make more. Some people want to make the same and work less. Some people want to work less and make more. Some people want to make the same and work less. Some people want to work the same and make more. Right there's a at the end of the day, what we really want. Right? I'm just sharing this in the group real quick. Preeminence Unleashed. What we really want is we want control. We want control over how much we work. We want control over how much we make. And that's really what it comes down to. And there's pretty simple mechanics behind it. And the single major difference, okay, when we think about a large successful business, and a small struggling one, because a lot of people can market and sell really, really well, but they always seem to be stuck in this smaller, like the small end of the small business that are struggling, even though they can market and sell, even though marketing sales is supposed to fix everything. And there's this disconnect between life theory, right? When people sit back and say, well, I'm just going to sell until my business breaks and I'm going to fix it and then yada, yada, yada. There's life theory and there's reality. And there's often this chasm, this gap between life theory and reality. Okay. And so the difference between large successful business and small struggling ones is that there's not a gap, right? Life theory and reality are congruent, and they are congruent. They are made congruent and they stay congruent through intensive system management, okay? Documenting, evolving, and improving systems. And I know when I say systems, people are like, oh, that's not marketing and sales and Facebook ads. You think of systems and people think of checklists, SOPs. They think of boring and bureaucratic. And that's okay because those people aren't ready to grow a business yet. They're just not, and that's okay. You know you're ready. What you should be thinking when you think systems is more money with less work, more time to do your work in a place where you have more focus. So there's less mistakes and there's less errors. And when there is a mistake, it gets fixed immediately and permanently, right? Those are sexy things to me. You should also be thinking about being calm, collected, and under control. Entrepreneurial anxiety out the window. Okay. That's what we do in the system. That's why I built the thing so that I could have control and I could relieve the anxiety, right? I've been there. And what happens when you have these ever improving systems is your life theory. When you go, you know what should happen? This. And reality become congruent. You start making predictions that are accurate. You start thinking, it's almost like you can predict the future because you have the science of hindsight on your side, right? The science of hindsight, you have data that suggests, or we're pretty darn sure when this happens, this will happen. There's not a lot of guesswork. Okay. And that's really the difference between big successful business and small struggling ones. Even small successful business, they manage their systems. And again, like 90% of people, right? 90% of people are persuaded by peers and social pressures or expediency, and they struggle, right? And it looks like a lack of direction. It looks like time wasted on trivialities. And that's kind of what we attribute it to. But the truth is, if you just go a layer deeper, right? If you just submerge to a deeper place, the root cause is just a lack of systems where life theory and stress and anxiety take precedence over reality, right? So we humans, we have a penchant for thrashing around on the surface and just complicating things that aren't complicated. And that is the hang up. So being system oriented, right? It's not even a business thing. It's if you want to work more and make more, great. You want to work less and make more, great. You want to work the same and make more, awesome. You want to work less and make the same, great. Because a system, right? A proper system is built towards life efficiency. What do you want your life to look like? Because if your business is generating 100 grand a month, but it costs 97 to get there, and you're working 100-hour weeks, you're taking home $3,000 a month, 100-hour weeks, you're going to burn out. And here's the thing. Here is the thing about large successful business or small successful business. If I have a bad day, if I have a bad week, if I just don't show up to work for 6 weeks, my business continues to move forward because the system has been built that facilitates continuous improvement with or without me having a good day, right? So that's the other thing about removing yourself. You have to be able to remove yourself. So if you have a bad day, the business doesn't suffer, because that will limit growth, that will limit success. It'll be hard to keep employees if their paycheck suffers every time you have a bad day, right? So if you find yourself, the self-talk, right? And just circling back, the self-talk for small struggling business is, I'm barely hanging on, right? I'm barely hanging on. And no matter how fast, this is the biggest difference between successful business and small struggling one. We all want to move as quick as possible, right? We all want to move as quick as possible. However, a struggling business will bias speed. A struggling business will bias speed. A successful business will bias velocity. The difference between speed and velocity is speed is missing the vector component. Okay. So you can go really, really fast in a circle and you haven't gotten any further away from where you started. There's no vector component. There's no vector measurement. Velocity is how far you have moved in the direction you want to go from your starting place. So you could actually make more progress at a lower speed but a higher velocity. You can have a higher velocity at a lower speed. And what ensures that direction is your system management. So if you still want to just market and sell and figure it out later, that's fine. Stay away from me. We're not interested in this ready fire, right? A true organization, even in the book, Ready, Fire, Aim, right? There's a stage where operations becomes the focus. So believe it or not, with the system, when you're focused on velocity, systems, operations, management, everything you do becomes exponentially more effective, right? And I'm going to give it to you. Here's the process, okay? Separate, dissect, and repair your current systems. Dysfunction is good because that means you're sitting on gold. If your business is dysfunctional, that means there's a lot of money just sitting there ready for you to take. When we take people into the system, I tell them all the time, we're going to find more money than you pay us. And we almost always do on like day one, which is pretty cool. Okay. And step 2, document efficient systems not great. So separate, dissect, repair, document, and then set up a system of ongoing management. So hopefully that was useful and kind of shift your paradigm. I think I'm going to go live every day this week and really break down the components of this because it's missing. It's just missing. It's necessary. We need it. But let me know if that was helpful. Let me know if you have questions. And hopefully it's a little bit of a paradigm shift and you understand the importance of what is the point of working as hard as you're working if you're not going in a straight line, right? So that's something we do. I'm happy to talk to you about it. Happy to do it for you. MasteryModeSystem.com. Check it out. I'll put it in the comments. Nothing special. It's literally just an opportunity to apply and have a conversation. So we can help you with this. But that's the concept, right? That's the difference. You want to be great. You have to have this operation focus. It's the way it goes. You guys are awesome. Let me know if that was helpful. Share it with your friends. Peace out.